So in terms of microbiocidal activity, you have your sanitizers, you have your disinfectants, and then you have your sterilizers. So the FDA actually classifies peracetic acid as a sterilizer, meaning it kills everything with a certain amount of time and a certain concentration. So this is just basically the details on that, which I'm not going to get into. So moving on to exposure limits and health risks.
Okay. The first exposure limit for peracetic acid was the EPA's AEGLs or EAGLs, the acute exposure guidelines. Now these aren't occupational exposure limits. They were intended more for first responders, and so the concentrations tend to be a little lower because they're for sensitive populations, such as the elderly, the very sick, or small children. The first occupational exposure limit was the American Conference of Governmental Industrial Hygienists, ACGIH, short-term exposure limit threshold limit value. It's a 15-minute time-weighted average value of 0.4 ppm. The NIOSH has recently proposed an IDLH. They proposed 0.55 ppm, but they're still considering what the final value should be. So that should be out, I don't know, I can say any time, but sometime soon. OSHA hasn't yet put out a permissible exposure limit for PAA, but if they needed to, they could cite employers under the general duty clause using one of the other recognized standards such as the ACGIH STEL TLV.